Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 224. It is Friday morning, and I've been on the road for a little over an hour now. The sun is just starting to come up, and we're heading out for the day. A little depressing yesterday, the way that went down, where I had less than an hour before a meeting and just got pummeled during that time. Came back and got worse, and then slowly started picking up the pieces, but had to leave in order to get home. So today we're going to pick up where we left off and try to continue winning that money back that we lost yesterday, and we'll see how that goes. This morning it's kind of a chilly morning, 43 degrees outside, and I don't know what to say this morning. Usually I start the podcast as soon as I leave home, but this morning there's so much stuff going on in life, and this election is winding down now, and man, I really wanted to see a clear winner in this election, and now we're starting to see all kinds of craziness happen, and people accusing people of things, and votes in Michigan where certain people have voted more than once, more than 10 times, more than 20 times. We're starting to see all kinds of crazy signs where Trump is ahead, but then he's not, and then Harris all of a sudden in a poll that came out today is winning every swing state, where before that he was winning every swing state, and all this is doing is getting everything set up so that no matter who wins, the country continues to be divided, and we continue to be fighting each other, which is what politicians want. They don't want us to be friends with each other. And you know your neighbor, you love your neighbor, you're friends with your neighbor for the most part, and then you find out, oh, they voted this way, they want you to attack each other and hate each other. And one thing we need to keep in mind is we're all on the same side. We're all doing what we think is the right thing to do to move this country forward. So hopefully there'll be a clear winner. It'll be done early, and there won't be a lot of fighting. I am worried about what's going to happen after this election. I think if either side wins and it's close, there could be problems on the street. And I hate to say that, but I do kind of feel like that's coming up. So hopefully not. Today we're going to try to go to more than 2 casinos. Yesterday was a crazy day. Only visited 2 spots. Today I only have 1 meeting, and so that should give me more time to play. But it is Friday, and Friday does get kind of busy early and limit the kind of things that we can do. But we're hoping for the best today. So we're on the road already. Been going for a while, and I'll let you know how things go at the first spot. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I'm leaving this place about half an hour later than I wanted to, which means I will have to stop on the way to the next casino to do a call with my team, unfortunately. But I took some shots at some bigger plays, and none of them panned out. I ended up ahead $9, but when you're playing the bigger plays, you're not trying to break even, you're trying to hit it big. So unfortunately that didn't work out. I saw a guy in there that I knew, talked to him for a while, and he told me that he's been there for about 6 hours, and I asked him about what he played, and he's like, oh, I've only looked at the first half of the casino. And he's like, you see that game right there? It was like this and this. And I'm like, that's not a beatable game. He's like, I know, man, I just took a shot. He said I was playing it at $12 and $16 and $20, and then I finally hit and got a W2 and ended up barely breaking even. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I said, well, at least you got points out of it. You got lucky enough to break even and got points out of it. And I looked at his points, and he'd run, because when you have your card in, it shows you how many points you've gotten for the day, and he'd already run about $10,700 through the machines. And this is just a regular guy with a regular job, and he just comes in and goes nuts shooting money off everywhere. He knows just enough to get himself a little bit of, winnings, and other than that, just goes nuts. But anyway, as for me, I ended up ahead $9, and I'm moving on to the next casino. And now the skies behind me are totally clear, and the skies in front of me are totally dark. So like there's no clouds behind me at all, and in front of me it's dark clouds. So going into it, man, but we're gonna do it. Going into the eye of the storm. I will stop and do that meeting and then continue on to my next casino. And I just want to take it kind of slow today and do everything deliberate and really chip away at the loss from yesterday, and try to get all that money back and finish at the high for the week if possible. So that's what's going on right now, starting off the new month with $9. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So moved on to the next spot. So first, after I left you, I pulled over, took care of my meeting. I was thinking about just driving for about 20 minutes in the meeting, because usually the manager will talk about some stuff first and then he'll go around and talk to us. I'm usually one of the last ones. But I decided to stop and get gas instead. I stopped, got gas, started the meeting, and he finished his portion really quick, and I was the first one to talk, so got that out of the way, and then continued on my trip for the last 45 minutes of the meeting, and got to the casino early and was able to get in and start playing, and that saved me a lot of time. So all that worked out. Let me see, there's a couple things I need to do by tonight to get in the system by tonight, so I got to remember to do those. So remind me to get them in the system by tonight. I went to the next casino and looked at slots. I found one play and played that one through, and I ended that ahead $123. Didn't find any other plays. All kinds of people here checking, but luckily I found that one and made good money on there. So plus 123 on that. Then I went to look for blackjack for about 20 minutes looking for a blackjack table. Finally, I found a table that the shoe had just ended. There was only one other person at the table. Not the ideal situation for me, but I sat down and played at that table and did pretty well. I only bought in for 500 and had a big shoe at the end there. And it was positive all the way through that shoe. And I ended up leaving that table ahead exactly 1,500. So plus 1,500. We're on our way. I'm not going to get excited yet. We still have a long way to go. Can't get overly excited about it. So plus 1,500 on the blackjack, plus 123 on the slots. And you might be saying, why are you still at the casino then? Why didn't you leave yet? I'm going to leave, but I ordered some food. So I'm going to wait for my food to be ready. Then I'm going to head back to the car, take a break. I might come in for another blackjack session, but not now. I'm going to move on to another casino after I eat, and we're going to play there, and then probably come back here again. So I'm going to hold on to my chips in case I get into the situation where I have to buy in a lot. I don't want to. I want to have as much room as possible to buy in. So, yeah, that's what's going on right now. Good start to the day. I'm trying to keep my teams alive, so it looks like I'm online. And I got to remember to take care of a couple things tonight. I would take care of them now, but I have to VPN into the system to do that, and it would show where I was. And I don't think it's possible to do. I wonder if I have a VPN on my phone and I put my home city on that VPN and then use my phone to share with my laptop and then use the work VPN for that. Would that make it look like I VPN from home? I think it might. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. It's encrypted data, and then it's regular internet. It gives it the call. It just encrypts it while it's in travel. I think that would work. I may try that. So when I get my burger, I may try that, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and go pick up my food, go to the car, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, just leaving this casino. Interestingly, I was getting into my car, and I see a digital billboard. And I look at it, it says vote for Kamala Harris, and then there's another one that just says vote, and then the next one says vote for Donald Trump. So kind of interesting, back to back to back there. So I guess you get all the different options. Anyway, I had a cheeseburger, which was all right, not great, and didn't play anything else since I talked to you last. So everything is still the same, plus 123 on the slots, plus 1500 on the blackjack. Did not cash the chips in. We're moving on to another casino, see if we can make some money on the blackjack there, maybe a few slots, and then decide what to do from there, either come back here or go to an even further casino. So that's where we are right now. Temperature right now is 50 degrees, very cloudy outside. Not terrible, light breeze, so I can stand that. So that's what's going on right now, and we're moving on to the next casino. I'll be back. Man, these casinos, absolutely disgusting. Honestly, absolutely disgusting the way they do business. I go in this place, start walking around, looking at stuff. I see nothing, I see nothing. I see a little bit of change here, a little bit of change there. I got like $1.50 in vouchers. And so I see a dealer. I want to play at his table. It's a low limit table, $25 table. I go over there. There's people there. I decided to just wait. There was 3 guys there. It seems like they were together, but maybe they weren't. 3 guys at the table. So I walk around the place again, look at slots. I see nothing. And this is, I mean, we're talking like 2 hours. I was in there, 2 hours plus. I was in there. And in fact, I could tell you exactly. But anyway, I finally sit down at his table because I specifically want that table. I sit down, I start playing. Things are going okay. You know, for betting a quarter, you know, they're going okay. I'm up like 250, 275, something like that. Let's see what time it was. Yeah, I've been here 3.5 hours. So I'm playing at his table, and then he goes to break. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. I keep on playing. And he comes back from break. He's such a slow dealer, but he's a talented dealer. So I wanted to play at the table. Eventually, I ended up leaving his table after an hour, and I was oh shoot, I forgot about those chips. Oh, another $25 here. I was ahead $25 when I left the table, and because what I do lots of times is when I get a blackjack on an odd number of quarters, I get that $12.50. I put that in my pocket because the dealers think it's their money that I'm supposed to tip with it or something. So when they're not paying attention, I'll put it in my pocket. Anyway, I walk around a little bit more, and then I go to a different table. I sit down. At this point, I'm up $25, and I start playing, and I am just destroyed on this table right away. I'm down like 1,500 the next shoe. I switch tables with a minus 19, and I sit there. I start playing there, getting destroyed there. Switch tables again with a big negative count. Back to the first table, and eventually back to the second table. So I went 4 tables there, 1, 2, 1, 2, and was down as much as, I was involved as much as 3,600, and I was down as much as 3,300. No, I was involved 3,500, and I was down as much as 3,200, and it was just going terribly the whole time. I was at those 2 tables for probably an hour and 45 minutes. And then in the middle of my despair and disgust, I look over, and this is the casino that I've been like, okay, I'm not going to play here anymore because something's going on in the high limit. Something's up. And I noticed some things, and I'll tell some people in my area that I know about these things. I noticed, for one, they have a notch now in the shoe. They have 2 notches. They have a regular notch, and they have another notch, maybe for card counters or suspected card counters. One of them's at about 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and one's at over 2, maybe 2 1/4, somewhere in there. So I noticed that. The funny thing is, I had gone back to look in this area earlier, and the dealer had cut it like 2 decks deep. And he said, "You want to play?" And there was a guy playing 2 hands already, like 200 a hand, and he had just started a new shoe. And he put the card in there, and the dealer said, "Do you want to play?" And I said, "Not half a shoe." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're cutting it in the middle." I said, "Do you want to play or do you want to shuffle?" And he's like, "Well, this is what we're supposed to do." And I said, "Oh, no, no, nothing against you. I didn't know if you were doing it on purpose." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, some dealers are graded by how many shoes they play, that they're going fast. So I didn't know if you were doing it on purpose to play more shoes." And he said, "No." And I said, "That's okay. I'll come back later on." So I left that area. That's when I sat down at the first table. And then eventually when I came back, I ended up with this guy as one of my dealers. And he goes, "You tell me how much to cut it." That's what he said to me. I said, "Thin to win, of course." I said, we want to play as much as possible so we don't have to keep shuffling." And he said, "Yeah, but I do it thick on purpose to help you." I said, "Well, really? How?" And he's like, "Because if it's a bad shoe, then it will end sooner." I said, "Yeah, but if it's a good shoe, it will end sooner too." I said, "The good thing is I know the pit boss. He's a real nice guy, and he'll usually give me a new shoe if I ask for it." And he said, "Okay, that shut him up." After that, he was real nice. We had some good conversations while we were playing. And that takes me back to what I started like 4 minutes ago, which is I look to my right when I'm in the middle of my despair, and there are 3 pit bosses. There's a craps table that's not being used there. 3 pit bosses sitting there talking to each other and looking at me. People that I don't know. One of them for sure is a regular pit boss, and the other 2, I don't know what they are. Could they be on break and they're just watching sports on TV? They could, but why are you staring at me? Why am I like eye candy to these people? Why do you keep staring at me? That's what I want to know. It's harassment, man. Stop staring at me. Anyway, I had all negative counts on that table that was closest to them, so I wasn't really making any moves. And then I finally switched back to that second table, which is my 4th table back in that area. And I ended up having a decent run, raise, win, raise, win, raise, win, and a shoe. And I left the table ahead $125 after all that. So I could have left 3 hours ago with $125 less, I guess. Was it worth risking all that money for $125? I don't know. Probably not. So, oh, man. So I've got 36.25. I thought I had 36. I've got 36.25. I bought in for 3,500. I go to the cashier. I cash out 26 on purpose because their limit is 3,000. This would not be a problem normally, but if they're watching me, it could be a problem. If those 3 pit bosses were there for me, that could be a problem. So when I walk up, there are 2 cashiers. Neither one has anything to do, and a cashier manager behind them. And I give her the 2,600, and they say, "I need your card." I was like talking to them and having fun and everything. "Oh, I need your card," like all business. I'm like, "No, I'm okay." She said, "I need your card or your ID." I said, "No, I'm okay." And so she says to the guy, he doesn't want to give the card or ID. I said, "Why do I need to?" He goes, "Well, if you cash out that much, usually we like to get it." I said, "Well, I'd rather not." I said, "If you want to, you can push them back to me. I'm just going to lose them here anyway. I'll just play with them next time I come." And they're like, "Go ahead and do it." And they cashed me out. But that means that I had 1,000 left, and the other cage is back to back with this cage, which is a problem because the other cage, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So anyway, so the cashier is back to back with the other cashier, and the problem is the lower limit cashier that I was going to at this point has a limit of 500 before they have to have a double. And although there was 2 people there, they're going to say double, and the guy who just gave me a hard time is going to walk out. So I thought I'd walk over there and just take a look around. So I walk up slowly, like not close, but made it look like I was watching the tables. And I look over at the cashiers, and the guy pops his head out from around the corner. So I'm like, great. So I called a friend of mine. He's meeting me here. I think he might be here. That's who was just calling me. So I'm going to go meet him right now, give him these chips, and get cashed out of here. Man, this place, not like this place. Had so many issues. Oh, shoot. Did I lock the keys in this time? For real? No, I got them. So, yeah, I've just had so many issues here, and this is not the one that gave me a hard time about walking in, but this place just gives me the creeps, man. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So at this point, I just met with my friend, got me cashed out, everything is good, and of course, then he borrowed some money from me. No, not much, but hey, beggars can't be choosers at this point. I've been trying to stay away from this casino because it hasn't been good for me. I haven't had a good vibe here. I haven't felt good here, and whether you believe in that stuff or not, you better believe in it, because when you don't have a good vibe or a good feeling about something and you let it get to you emotionally, then you don't make good decisions. And whether you're counting or not counting, you may not play things correctly. And I actually made 2 playing errors while I was in there, which is rare for me because I do not make playing errors. And one of them became a winner, one was a loser, so it balanced out, and they were both the same amount of money. But it made me very angry with myself that I did that. The first one is because the dealer was going real fast, and I saw the first card, and I assumed because the dealer's top card was so low that it was going to be a stay. It was like a 10, and then whatever it was. Anyway, so I go to stay, and then, he had a 2, and then I ended up with a 12, and I ended up staying, and the dealer ended up with a 9 for a 21, which would have been my 21. The dealer would have had a 17. That was one of them. And the other one was -1 or +1 where I hit, and I should have stayed, and against the 10, and I got a 5 and 1, and I should have lost that hand. So, I mean, it balanced out, but it still makes me angry that I made that mistake. And I don't know if it's because of this place and it's getting to me or what the deal is. So, anyway, at this point, I'm going to head back to the casino I came from. It's probably going to be too busy to play, but I do have chips, and I do have a voucher I need to cash. I forgot to cash. So I got combined over $2,000 I need to cash. So I'll do that, and then we'll probably go get something to eat at the next place we stop at. I was going to stop somewhere locally and grab some other stuff here at the store, but I may not do that. Let's go cash these chips and this voucher, and I'll come back and we'll decide what to do. Hopefully I'll get a chance to play some more and make some money. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Actually, you know what I need to do? I'm going to get this map up. I'm going to go ahead and go to this place. There it is. All right, so I went into this casino. I had chips, I had a voucher, and I started looking around. I found nothing in slots at all. I found $1 in a machine, plus $1. And then I went to look at tables, and tables were jam-packed. I finally found a table to sit at, and started playing there for a while and couldn't get anything going. From the first hand, I was down, playing low limit, and I was down as much as 700. I played for probably 35 minutes or so. Tables just got really busy, and I finally left at the end of a shoe when the tables were just getting packed, plus 100. So plus 100, and so today's a day of ones, isn't it? I mean, last place was plus 125 and $1 from slots. This one was plus 100 and $1 from slots, but we're up, what, 1750 maybe? Yeah, like 1750, 1760 for the day, so not terrible, except that I was up that much in the first 5 minutes of playing, not 5 minutes, the first session I was up that much. But what are you going to do? Wasted a lot of time trying to make money, but couldn't make it happen. But here we are going to move on. The next thing I'm going to do is actually stop by a store, buy a few things, and then the next place I want to stop is going to be closed by the time I get there, so I'll have to hit that another time, and then we'll go on to another casino. A friend of mine today gave me the idea of, since I can't play on Wednesdays anymore because I have work, but then I have Thursday and Friday off. The idea would be to do my usual Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like normal, where I go to the office, to the casino, and then Wednesday, I would go to the office, casino at lunch, back to the office, and then that evening, drive 3.5 hours to an area that has a couple casinos and spend the night there, come back Thursday afternoon, and that way I can get more time in, kind of even things out, and then go back out to a different area Friday. And actually, that's not a bad idea. I think I'm going to do that. So we'll test that next week, and hopefully that works. If that works, it's actually really good because I'll be closer to home for a longer period of time. I'll only be traveling out of town 3 days a week instead of 4, and hopefully we can make the same money. So I was concerned about the opportunities, but he assured me that the opportunities would be there. So that's what's happening right now. I am moving on to this place. It's about 15 minutes from my current position, and then I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. I feel a little bit better. I was kind of grouchy there. Really, I don't know why it's been getting to me, but I was kind of grouchy. I was at that casino, that last casino, and walking around looking for slots to play. And there's this very large black woman with a mask on sitting at a machine, and she stops me from walking by. And I say, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like, "Hey, can you rub my machine for good luck?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I can do that." I said, "Let me just ask you, what about me makes you think that I'm good luck?" I said, "I'm not bald, I'm not, whatever." And she's like, "I just been doing really bad." I said, "I've been doing really bad too." She goes, "I just think you're lucky when you rub the machine." I said, "Sure." And then she wants to grab my hand and hold my hand and stuff. And imagine this very large, like, let's say 400-pound woman, and she's probably around 30 years old, and she's got like multicolored hair, and her eyebrows are painted like pink, and her eyelashes go like 3 feet off her face, and she's grabbing my hand, trying to get me to stay there. And I'm like, "Lady, I gotta go." I said, "Good luck to you, I gotta go." There's always weird people at these places, man. Very weird people. But anyway, I stopped by a store, got a couple things that I need, and I'm actually, I think I just passed the area that I would stop. No, I'm almost there. There's another place I want to stop, but I'm pretty sure it's closed. I'm going to check their Google listing, see if they're open. And then from there, I'll only be about 20 minutes away from the next casino, and we'll see if we can make some money there. So right now, just chilling, relaxing. The sun is behind the clouds right now. It's kind of cool outside, 54 degrees. And traffic is actually not too heavy for rush hour. So just relaxing right now, heading on to the next spot, and I'll be back to update you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I drive by the license plate reader at this casino, they have nothing to stress about today because I didn't make any money. I went to this place and it was busy as I expected. Early evening on a Friday, people leaving work early, people getting off work, all this stuff going on. All kinds of people were in there, and it was pretty packed. And one of the first things I saw in there was some people checking machines. None of the normal people, just one of these part-time guys, primarily. I saw a couple younger kids also that I think just do it in the evenings and on weekends, so it doesn't bother me at all. But walking around looking, I found nothing, man. I found a few pennies here and there. I got like 15 cents. Just people had left in the machine. That's it. I was probably in there for half an hour looking, and there was nothing. I was probably in there longer than that, maybe 40 minutes. It took 2 or 3 laps around, and there was nothing available. And I hate to end it that way, but it's going to be my last casino today. Man, my back is killing me too. My shoulder on the left side and my back all the way down on my left side is just killing me. It's probably the way I'm sitting in the car. I've been alternating between this seat cushion and nothing at all, and just can't find anything that works well for me. Part of it obviously is driving an older car. The shocks probably aren't as good and things like that, but anyway, let's talk a little bit here. What did you eat today, MW? I'm trying to think back. I had a burger with fries, and I might post a picture of this. It was this okay sized burger, but the fries, it's like massive amount of fries in this even bigger container that makes it look like there was no fries. And the burger was okay, and she asked me if I wanted cheese on there, and I said yes. And just to all those restaurateurs out there and all those foodies out there, let me ask you, when you have 2 pieces of meat on a burger and someone asks for cheese, do you put like half a piece of cheese on there, or do you put 2 big, beautiful, full pieces of cheese? I'm just saying, right? I mean, come on, I'm paying $15 okay. The casino is paying $15 allegedly for this burger. Why am I not getting 2 full slices of cheese on it? The burger was actually pretty good. The fries were okay. I don't like the little ketchup packets because you got to open them and all. It takes forever. I prefer like a little cup of ketchup. But the burger overall was okay. I thought the onions were a little too much for something that's going to be in a place where people are all around each other. You're going to be talking to each other. Maybe a different type of onion that's not so strong. Personally, I love onion. I love garlic. In fact, I've got a container of garlic here that I dip food in sometimes. All right. I mean, I like garlic a lot. It's like it's garlic mix, and I get like cucumbers or other vegetables. And so I love garlic and onion. But when you're around a lot of people, probably not the best idea to have the most pungent onion. But I would still give it, I hate to do this because it's like I give everything a 10. It seems like some things are lower, but I give it a 10. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't wow me. Maybe a 9. Let's give it a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace. Only because the fries were not that great. They were the shoestring ones, which I don't mind, but just they weren't very good overall. So that's what I ate today. Did I eat anything else? Come on, baby. What else did we eat here? That's it. And then, did you tip? What did you tip today, MW? You guys are gonna love this story. So, at the casino, I won no jackpots, and I had an okay day. Not a great day. Not even a good day. But the casinos kind of frustrated me, and I had the issue with like those 3 pit bosses standing around, and I didn't know what the heck was going on. They're staring at me the whole time. And after I was done at that table, I actually walked over to him and talked to him. And I'm like, man, did you see me suffering over there? Can you believe this? And blah, 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 just being a ploppy and throwing all the ploppy logic at him and everything. And I left there. But so on the drive home, I've been wanting to stop at this beef jerky place for a while. And I've found it hard. I mean, like out of 10 attempts, maybe I've had 1 or 2 successes. And I checked, and it was open, and open until 9 p.m. So I'm like, this is awesome, because half the week it's only open until 4. So I swing by there, and there's construction and all this mess, but I finally get to it, and I pull into the parking lot, and it's completely empty. Not a single car. This is like a shopping center, strip center type place with like 10 suites in it, right? So you'd think there'd be some cars. Not a single vehicle. So I pull in and I turn the corner and I look, and there's a guy sitting on the curb. And I'm like, okay. And so I park and I'm walking in, and the guy is the employee for the beef jerky place. And I'm like, okay. And he's got his AirPods in, and he's sitting on the sidewalk with his tattoos, smoking a cigarette, and, you're selling meat, and most of it's not sealed. So not the best. So I walk in, and he's like, hey, you're the guy that likes the black pepper only, right? And I'm like, yeah, beef jerky. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like 15 different flavors and, M&M's flavors, Skittles or something. Come on. It's supposed to be peppered. So he's like, well, a guy came in and took it all. There's none left. But we have some of these pre-packaged ones. So I'm like, pre-packaged? I'm like, those things are more expensive, right? So I got to pay more for it? He's like, well, you're supposed to get 4 of them for $30, which honestly is not a terrible deal. Not a great deal, but not a terrible deal. 4 of them would be like almost a pound. So that's not a bad price. But you actually get a better deal if you buy it in bulk, and you get to pick which pieces you want. So he's like, I'll give you 2 more, so I'll give you 6. I'm like, wow, that's almost a pound and a half for $30. That's not bad. So I got those, and he's telling me the story. He's like, oh, and by the way, tips are not, you can tip if you want, but you don't have to. But maybe you should, considering what I went through today. And I'm like, huh? What did you go through today? Bad idea to ask. He said, almost had to call the police on this guy. I'm like, tell me the story. He's like, well, he's this guy from Canada, and he was here with his girlfriend, and he was mad at her because we have free samples, and he wanted her to try the free samples, and she wouldn't try it. She didn't feel good. She's pregnant, and she didn't feel good. And so he smashed her head against the door in the back. I'm like, wait, excuse me, wait a minute. What did you say? Yeah, he smashed her head into the door in the back. And I said, you're not going to do that. And if you keep doing that, I'm going to call the police. And then I showed him the knife on my belt. I'm like, wait a minute here. Jerry Springer time here. So then he lifts up his shirt, and he's got like these people do sometimes. They have like 9 pairs of underwear on because they want to show their underwear, but not that one, and not that one, and not. So they get like 4 layers of clothes on, and I'm like, what am I looking at? And then I see this big knife that he's got in this holder, and then he's got another knife. It's like one that you open up. One of them is just like a regular knife. And he's like, so I showed him this, and he pointed to the knife, and I said, well, so what happened then? Did the police have to come? And he's like, no, he just left. And I said, well, so what happened to the beef jerky? He's like, oh yeah, he bought all of it. You remember, I told you about that. I'm like, no. Yeah, remember I told you he was spitting all over the place and all over the countertops and everything? I'm like, dude, you are weird. I'm just glad that I got the ones in the pre-sealed packages here instead of my normal loose ones, but that was pretty crazy. So this guy came hundreds, maybe actually from where he said the guy was, I'd say about 400 miles to where this place is, to come over here to almost get arrested. Kind of weird. But anyway, so I did tip the guy $1 just because I felt bad because this guy was so dumb that I actually tipped him $1. And it actually reminds me of I don't want to tell you this story. This is something my dad told me years ago. It's probably not okay to say on the air, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So heading home from here, 50 degrees outside, the sun is setting, and we'll catch up with you. What is today? Friday. We'll catch up on Sunday, And I already talked about this week and how we're going to do it. Let's do that. And hopefully good variance to all of you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.